So the tools you'll need for the job: set of needle nose pliers, a adjustable grinding disc removal tool, a 8mm for your under tray, and a star bit, which is an E20. First things first, undo all 24 screws from your under tray and slide it further down under your car, or frisbee it out of the driveway, whichever you prefer. And the piece in question is just up here, so it does look slightly different on the 1 Series. The older version here, it has the starbit bolt on it, rather than the 3 recessed indents that you'll have on your new kit. Notice mine is actually screwed up a bit tighter. You can see how it's actually a little bit below the other surface there. And that's because I tried tightening it. Unfortunately, that didn't work. I tightened it and actually made the steering super heavy and lumpy, and it felt so bad I didn't even take it out the driveway, to be honest. So now we're going to remove that and see what is behind. And just allow better access for turning the ratchet. Remove this under tray support using your 8mm socket. So now it's time for the star socket. Okay, so once it's off, this is what we're met with. The spring just pulls out by hand, and it's covered in grease, which we're going to reuse later. And the next part you just pull out with needle nose pliers. Here's a comparison with the old and the new, and that is the part number, by the way. So if you need to order one, just copy that down. So you can see the old lid that has a grommet in the middle. That is supplied with the new kit. There's a grommet that you need to shove through, and also a spring. So what isn't particularly easy is getting this grommet through the hole. So first thing to do is to get a bit of grease on there, and then if you put it over the hole and put your thumb on the back of it, over that sort of opening there, and then use the needle nose pliers just to sort of squeeze it progressively around. And as you sort of squeeze it in, push the part of the grommet that's gone in through the hole, and just work your way around the grommet until the whole thing pops through. So all I've done is transfer the grease from the old piston, and it's good to go in. So you'll have noticed by now there's a sort of V-shape cut out of that piston, and that is the way around you want to slot it into the cylinder. So just pop this straight in now, so it's that way around it needs to go. And we just slot it right in there, and give it a bit of a shove, just to get it past those seals that are now sealing very tightly. There we go. In order to get it a little bit further in, I found that if you sort of don't necessarily have to shove it that hard, but if you just get your needle nose pliers and just give it a bit of a kind of wiggle, you can see that. Where are we? There we are. It goes in a bit further. You sort of just kind of wiggle it and massage it in rather than having to belt it. So with that tightness, there's a slight noise. So it looks like it's not quite tight enough yet. So just one final tighten. It's about as tight as I can possibly get it. I think with a better tool I could probably tighten it further. The noise is very, very slight now when you wiggle the wheel, and it does not make any noise when you go over bumps anymore, which is great. So I'm happy with that. But as I say, if you could tighten it slightly further, I think that you'd actually eliminate the noise completely. Now it's time just to put the under tray support back on and do up your 24 bolts for the under tray. I would suggest putting them in finger tight and then torquing them down after you've got them all in place.